Assalamu alaikum. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I thought, why not sit down and film a update. It is current. I'm 26 and a half weeks currently. Basically, I wanted to talk about SPD, and it's something I've been struggling with since when I turned about 5 months pregnant. And it is, let me get the actual definition. So SPD actually stands for symphysis pubis dysfunction, and is a problem with the pelvis during pregnancy. Swelling and pain can make the symphysis pubis joint less stable, causing SPD. Doctors and physiotherapists classify any type of pelvic pain during pregnancy as the pelvic girdle pain. SPD is one type of pelvic girdle pain. Now, for me, it's been really hard dealing with it, and it's been really tough, especially when I didn't know what it was. And how I found out was through just explaining the pain to my friends, and then my manager was like, "Oh, I know what that is." And then she sent me like, because she knew what the pain was and everything, so she sent screenshots of like an NHS. Oh my god, this baby brain is so frustrating. Anyway, she sent me a list of like what the symptoms are and basically what it means and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I nearly have all these symptoms. So the symptoms are, you find it painful to walk, find it very painful to sit, lie down, constantly having pain in your lower back. Also, there's pain on your tailbone. Oh my god, that is the worst. Like, I cannot sit on anything, even when I don't, like, I guess I constantly have SPD. It's just that if I follow what I found works for me, then the pain isn't as bad. But as soon as like I sit on a hard chair, even a chair with a thin cushion, I can't. Like, I literally can't. My tailbone and my spine are like in pain. It's so painful that like getting up becomes really painful. Like, it's a pain that's like you broke a bone kind of pain. It is absolutely horrendous. And also going up and down the stairs, that makes it worse. Just like picking things up, oh, like I cannot carry anything anymore. The other day I had my photo shoot and I had to carry some stuff. They weren't even that heavy. Like, me pre-pregnancy, that's nothing. It was like a couple of jumpers. I couldn't sleep all night. Like, I was crying in pain. And the reason why I kind of want to touch base about this is because I haven't watched anyone else. Everyone that I watch that's pregnant or has been pregnant never mentioned this before. So to me, like, when I started getting it, I got really worried. And I was like, oh my god, is there something, like, because none of my other friends that are pregnant had anything like this. So I was like, I'm the only one. Like, is my baby okay? Like, you know, you just get really worried, obviously. But then some of my friends who had previously been pregnant and stuff, they were like, oh yeah, it's SPD. And they were like, it's that, like, either they had it or they have heard about it because their friends had it or their sisters had it. So it's quite like well known. Everybody pretty much knows about it. And it is absolutely horrendous. Like, if you had it or you have it, you know how bad it is. It is like, it's a whole other pain. I've never experienced anything even close to this kind of pain. So I can't even imagine what labor would be like. It's kind of insane if you can't handle this pain. But the problem with this, like, this is what I always say. I'm like, however, with this pain is it's constant for months on end. Whereas labor's like a day or two, I guess, 3 maximum, I guess. So it's not too bad, hopefully, unless like you take ages to heal up. But yeah, so I didn't really know much about it, and I kind of wanted to like touch base about it and stuff. I know there's a lot of girls that follow me that are pregnant. Congratulations to everybody that is expecting, mashallah, it's amazing. And we just got to keep positive, and that's what I always say. I'm always like, I just have to say alhamdulillah, because my situation is still better than somebody else's, and that's how I try and keep positive. And I'm like, I can get through this, because it gets so bad and it gets so intense. The pain is horrendous. So hot water bottles really work. Also, the biggest thing that has been helping me is constantly sitting on very soft surfaces, so like couches that have really thick cushions, nothing too like, you know, too thin or too springy or anything. You really want it to be super soft. Also your bed, like I constantly try and sit on my bed rather than anywhere else, because it's just nice and comfortable and soft. And then I have loads of cushions to support my back. Also the way you sit, like try not to sit straight up like this. Like I find leaning a little bit back a bit more comfortable, or maybe leaning a little bit more forward than usual helps as well. So you don't really want to put pressure on your tailbone. What else have I been doing? Yeah, not picking anything up. I don't take the stairs. Literally, if I can avoid it, I do not use the stairs. And then it's really annoying because your body becomes so weak because you're not really doing much. Oh, another thing is walking. They say like you're supposed to keep active, and what I do is I walk. I think that's the best form of exercise. And probably swimming. I have yet to try swimming. I'm really excited, but I really want to try swimming. It's supposed to be really good. Like that cures some people, not cures them, but it makes like people's SPD like way better and easier. So I have yet to try that. I do need to try it. Just finding like the time and stuff is hard, and just getting there as well. But yeah, so walking really helps me. And as I mentioned in my previous video, there's an app that is called Flow, and it tells you like how many steps and how many kilometers you walked. So every day I try and do 10,000. Obviously I can't do 10,000 steps every day. That's a few kilometers, by the way. That's like it's about 8 kilometers or something. It's a lot of walking. However, it's so good for you. So what I tend to do is I try and have my meetings out. I try and go into town a lot. I try and walk as much as possible, even if I feel like it's wasting time. I still do it just because I know it's so important, especially because I can't exercise right now. Like it's just way too painful. So if I do this, it's at least it's helping and it's keeping me healthier. I find like if you have SPD and then like you get heartburn, it's those two combinations are horrendous, because like your whole chest is just burning and then your whole lower back is in pain. So basically your whole body is just dying. So I would say like try and eat foods that your stomach agrees with, which tend to be very healthy stuff. Also, I think maybe my SPD was probably bad because when I was sick in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th month, I was sick, so like it was so violent that like I felt like my whole insides were coming out, and I feel like maybe it was so much pressure constantly like on my back and my body, and obviously like it affected me. I'm thinking maybe that could have caused it. I don't know. Also, another thing that people say is a support belt. I have yet to find a really good one. I just kind of wanted to touch base about it and just let you guys know like also how it's been, because this is another thing, like with pregnancy and like having a baby, everybody just makes it seem so easy, and everybody just talks about like, no one really says anything bad about it, and like pregnancy people are like, oh my god, it's so amazing, blah blah blah. But then I know a lot of people who aren't finding it amazing, or are struggling, or are constantly ill, whatever. And I kind of wanted to, I don't want to sugarcoat it, and because a lot of people see me like all dressed up outside or at an event, and they're like, oh my God, you look so amazing. You made pregnancy look so good. And I'm like, this is one day of the week. I spent a week in bed crying and being in pain and thinking I'm gonna die. So this is not what it's like. So I really wanted to tell you like how it actually is, and that it's not as glamorous as I may make it look to be. And I don't want people thinking that it's like that, because sometimes people are like, oh, but she had it so easy, why is this happening to me? The thing is, a lot of the times people do go through pain, but you either don't know about it, they don't talk about it, or by the time they've had their child, like they would have forgotten about it. Because like, I thought the pain I went through at the beginning, the first few months, I thought I would never forget that pain. Like literally, it was that bad that I thought I would never forget it. And guess what? I have forgotten that pain. And that's also because something even worse has come along. So you're like, oh my God, it's just horrendous. But then it kind of just gets worse, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And then also I think it's really nice seeing, I love talking to people that are like ahead of me, like either a couple of months ahead of me, or have just had their child, because then I want to know and prepare myself for what's to come. And I guess that's kind of what I'm doing here. Like I kind of want to update you guys on what's going on. I remember that dark place that I was in, and I was just like, I just thought it was not going to get better, but alhamdulillah it does get better. And I feel like you just can't push yourself. That's a very, very important thing during pregnancy. Like I thought when you're pregnant, you just have like a bubble inside you, like a ball filled with liquid and a baby inside, and like if you move, it doesn't affect you. Okay, it's nothing like that. Literally, if I like stretch back my back, like, you know, if you want to like kind of stretch your spine, it feels like your insides are getting ripped apart. Like literally, like I cannot stretch. It's insane. It's so crazy. And you know what, like women are so strong for going through this, mashallah. Like I can't believe, like, women do not get enough credit for going through having kids. Like it's insane. It's insane how much like pain you're in, and also it's insane at how much you sacrifice, as in like your health, your body, then the way your body looks. Like people's teeth get really messed up during pregnancy. That's like a known thing. And then after that, you're kind of screwed with messed up teeth, unless you have loads of money to fix it. But then it's fake things are never as good as real things. You know what I mean? Like a fake tooth is never going to be as good as, you know, the tooth that God gave you, kind of thing. So my teeth have been absolutely terrible because I'm lactose intolerant. So they've been so weak. And if you're pregnant and it's at the beginning of your pregnancy, actually regardless of where you are at, and you haven't researched, you need to research. Like I am telling you, you have to research. There are so many people that just go in blind, and I'm like, you can't do that. Like you literally can't, because the girls that I know that have gone in blind, they all are like, I wish I knew. And they all come back saying, I wish I knew, whatever it is that affected them that they didn't know. And it is true, it's so important, which is kind of why I wanted to talk about this and share my experiences and stuff. Because when you're in Instagram and you see all this and you're like, oh, everybody's fine and it's so easy, and then you end up pushing yourself and stuff. But because also I know what a lot of my friends have gone through, I also know what to do and what not to do. And I know not to push myself, because you would just get worse and worse. And that's what was happening to me until I realized what it was that I had. And then I took action, and the moment I took action, that's when I got better. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up because it's getting so long. Do you guys like these kind of videos? Please let me know. I'd love your feedback, because if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it. But if you are actually finding them helpful, then I will keep doing it. And yeah, salam, bye guys.